Greetings and welcome to NewsZimbabwe.com News. I am Makanaka Masenyama. Stories making the headlines. Vice President Constantino Chiwenga in yet another health scare. In the courts, NetFarm boss piles more misery on ex-minister David Parvenyatwa. And in our arts, local satirical play features recent violent protest, while in sports, Caps United cuts the size of its 2019 Premiership squad. Unwell Vice President Constantino Chiwenga has reportedly been flown out to India for the second time in just a week as health fears around the country's second in charge continue to mount. The VP, who once revealed battling skin cancer, was last Thursday rushed to a South African hospital amid claims he was in terrible shape. His decision to seek treatment from outside caused an uproar among Zimbabweans based in South Africa. Presidential spokesperson George Charamba could not be reached to confirm the latest development, while Information Deputy Minister Energy Mutodi said the matter was beyond his purview. Top MDC politician Douglas Mwonzora has castigated government's brutal clampdown on offending citizens during recent public protests, and on another hand, taking a soft approach when dealing with rogue soldiers linked to murder, rape, and other heinous crimes against civilians. He was speaking at SAPE's Trust during a panel discussion on Thursday.
We have not had a single case where a rogue soldier was arrested. We have not had a single case where a rogue soldier has been court-martialed. A court-martial is a court for the soldiers. No single case of court-martialing has been reported. Why is that? Why were these rogue soldiers coming from military trucks? Those trucks have number plates. How many days does it take to identify them? So this government is not sincere.
During the skirmishes, at least a dozen civilians were shot dead by security forces, while dozens more were also treated for gunshot wounds. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has assigned representatives from his office to form part of a crisis meeting which was set for Friday evening between government and civil servants representatives. This was revealed by PTUZ Secretary General Raymond Majongwe at a media briefing Friday afternoon.
The Minister of Education, officials from the Public Service Commission, officials from the Ministry of Labor, people from the President's office, because we want to believe they have an interest, so that is exactly what is going to happen.
Teachers downed their tools early this week, demanding a wage review coupled with other working conditions. They continue to claim victimization by militant ZANU-PF supporters. Outspoken cleric Bishop Anselmo Magaya says prospects of a fruitful national dialogue among the country's political rivals are meaningless if those accused of visiting atrocities on innocent citizens fail to acknowledge their role in dividing the nation. He was speaking to Zim TV as calls for a national dialogue increase.
I don't hear, and I didn't hear in the president's speech anything pointing to the past hurts, to the despondency on the part of our people, woundedness on the part of our people. That is a result of acts of atrocities, murders, maimings, and abductions. And as long as there is failure on the part of the incumbent to appreciate that there are the reasons for why we are where we are, I think it's going to be very difficult.
In the courts, National Pharmaceutical Company Human Resource Manager Walter Nau has piled more misery on former Health Minister David Parvenyatwa, saying his alleged nepotism left the parastatal broke. Nau was testifying in a case in which Parvenyatwa is accused of employing a relative to a top position at NetFarm during his time in cabinet. In the arts, Zimbabwe's evolving political play, State of the Nation, now moves to its fourth episode, which derives some of its themes from last month's violent countrywide protest which elicited a brutal army reaction leading to the death of a dozen. The play, entitled Vortex, will stage at Theatre in the Park, Harare Gardens, on the 15th and 16th of this month. We now cross over to Leo Munende for sports.
Top Premiership side Caps United has reduced the size of its 2019 football season squad from 30 to 25 in a perceived cost-cutting measure by the former champions. Team President Farai Jere told the media on Friday that registering a maximum 30 players, as is required by the Premier Soccer League, was not necessary this time, as past experience has shown that coaches have a lean set of regular players they use during the Premiership marathon.
There's no coach who used 20 players in a season. I would want you to sit down and try to analyze that. The coach gets headaches when they realize that his best player is injured. So you realize that even having 30 players, there are a lot of players. And this year, to give you an example, I'm not saying do that, at Caps United, we are recruiting 25 players. Including those 5. Both those 20 players, we know that the coach will not use them. 5 juniors. I'm yet, if you are to argue with me, the clubs which came from Division 1, if you have used 17, 20 players, you realize that includes the substitutes. You use at most 17 players the whole season.
Zimbabwean football teams have not been spared the current economic crisis that has seen a lot of companies shut down, while those still operating are struggling to sustain operations. Reporting for Zim TV, this is Leo Munende.
To end the bulletin, here is a recap of our main stories. Vice President Constantino Chiwenga in yet another health scare. In the courts, Netfarm boss piles more misery on ex-minister David Parinyatwa. And in our arts, local satirical play features recent violent protest, while in sports, Caps United cuts the size of its 2019 Premiership squad. For more stories in greater detail, visit our website www.newszimbabwe.com and our YouTube channel Zim TV. Also follow us on Twitter at newszimbabwe.com and on Instagram, News Zimbabwe Live.